Hey guys, I'm a Forester here with a surprise unboxing. It may not be a surprise to you, but it was to me when it came. This is a real treat, and I think you're going to enjoy seeing what's in this box. But before I get started, let me just mention that my microphone that I use in doing my videos has given up the ghost. I'm going to have to replace it, so hopefully the quality of the audio on this video won't be too bad. Comment below if it's acceptable until I get the other microphone replaced. Now I'm going to do this unboxing with this knife right here. This is my Red Cadet, and I'll also be using this for a size comparison, so that's a little bit of a hint as to what's inside this box. Now this is a simulated unboxing because you've already seen one of the items in here in my previous video, and I've already opened it and gone through the items. I'm going to set it over here out of the way, and I'll take out the first item that you've already seen, and that's this coffee cup. And I'll give you a close-up of it. This is a Krispy Kreme donut coffee cup. This is a vintage, and I think that's the best word for it. This is a vintage coffee cup. I don't know the date when this was made. Like I say, these were gifts, and by the way, I didn't even mention, these are gifts from thatspapsknife63. I think most of you know That's Pap's Knives. We have generally walk in the same circles, but I followed him on his videos for years now, enjoyed watching his videos. He's slowed down a little bit, and when I get through reviewing this cup, I'll read a note that he put in the box. Now, this was of interest to me. If you can read that, it was made in Falls Creek, Pennsylvania by, I think that's Jackson, China, if I can read that correctly. But anyway, this is a vintage mug. This mug is going to take a prominent place in my videos, my coffee videos from now on, and really all of my videos, because I always have a coffee cup sitting in the background of my video, but it'll be this cup right here. This will become my official YouTube coffee cup. Let me set that right there out of the way and get the note, and I think it'll be okay. I've already read this note. I think it'll be okay for you to read it, or for me to read it online. And it says, Tim, I thought I would send you a few things, do whatever you want with them. Well, what I'm going to do is keep them. I'm going to treasure them. Maybe you could do a video with them, and that's what I'm doing right now. I have a vintage coffee cup, pretty rare, hope you like it, and I do. I think I'm going to do an EDC video within the next week, so y'all be on the lookout for that. You probably subscribe to That's Pap's Knife63's channel like I do. I might retire from doing videos, but will continue to watch them. And you know, I regret that, because a lot of the YouTubers that I've watched over the years are stopping making videos, and some are threatening to stop. But anyway, YouTube is changing. He says, I'll continue to watch them. I hope you like the gifts. Thanks for your good videos over the years. I will be turning 80 in January. Roger. Well, thank you for your note, Roger, and I really do appreciate the gifts. Let's take a look at them, and I'm just going to take them out as they lay in the box. The first one is a buck knife. It is made in America, which is important, and this is the mini Spitfire. Okay, let's take it out of the box. Some of you may be familiar with this. I wasn't. But this is the mini Spitfire right here. It's a small, fairly gentleman's folder, I would call it. It's a very attractive knife. You know, I think I'll be doing some videos of reviewing some of these items. I've got a very attractive green backspacer there, and this is a lockback knife. Operates one-handed very easily, opening and shutting. And for size comparison, I was going to put this Cadet up next to it. It's just a little bit larger than the Cadet. And I did want to take out the paperwork that came with it, because I was reading the paperwork. This is the very first buck knife that I've owned. Now, to have a collection, that seems strange. I do have a buck look-alike. It's a look-alike to the 110, but I don't have a buck knife. And the first thing I noticed is it says, if this is your first buck knife, welcome aboard. Well, it is my first buck knife. And I did notice that they have an excellent message here about the quality of their knives and the warranty that they stand behind. And it's signed by Chuck Buck, chairman owner of Buck Knives. And I'm going to look them up and see if he still is the owner. This really, I thought, was a neat message. He includes probably the first scripture verse that I ever memorized, John 3:16, and I imagine a lot of you memorized that verse also. It's a key message this Christmas season. I'm going to look them up and see if that's still a privately owned company. But anyway, I'm going to enjoy carrying this knife. I'm going to carry it for the next week or so exclusively. Okay, there's one other knife in here. Let's get it out. And this is another vintage knife. The coffee cup was vintage. The buck knife I don't think is vintage. You can buy it now. But this one is vintage and I don't think it's available. I don't think you can buy it. And it is a knife, but it's got a camel on there. Made in USA. I don't think Roger ever wore this on his belt, and I don't believe I will either. I think I'll just put it in my pocket. But here's the knife. Let's set that aside and get it right side up. Look at that. That's engraved. That's an ad for Camel, engraved into the stainless steel. This does have a date on it, 1994, in case you can't read it. Now, do you think Camel produced this knife? I don't think so. It's got the name right here. This is a Zippo knife. And I think that says, it's hard for me to read it through the viewfinder, but I think it says made in Bradford, Pennsylvania. So I did look this up online, and evidently Zippo is known for making their advertisement knives. And back in the day, in the 80s and 90s, this was the style knife that they made, stainless steel. This is a keepsake. And maybe I shouldn't talk about smoking, but I did smoke earlier in my life, and I smoked Camels, Camel filterless. Thought they had a lot more flavor than when they came out with the filters. But anyway, I'm going to keep this and I'm going to carry it. That's a neat knife. And let me give you another size comparison right there to the Cadet. I'll leave those there. Now, the next thing I'm going to pull out here is probably the most unique thing that I've seen in this box, or the most unique thing I've seen lately. It's a Parkour Pen. Okay, so there's the Parkour Pen. And this is the pen that Roger said that he did carry. But what's so unique is this perpetual calendar, and I hope the camera can do justice. It's got the day of the week, Sunday, Monday through Saturday, and today is Saturday, December the 30th. So you can tell right there, it's the 30th. Okay, Sunday will be the 31st. Now what I'm going to do, if I can demonstrate this, is come Monday, New Year's Day, I'm going to loosen that up, and Sunday will revolve around, no, excuse me, that'll be Monday, will revolve around to the 1st. Right there, and then I'll tighten it up. I think it slipped. But anyway, and it'll be correct for the next month. It's hard for me to see that through the viewfinder, so you'll have to I'll apologize if I didn't get that exactly correct. But every month, you just make a slight adjustment and you got the calendar right there on the pen. I've never seen that. That is truly unique. And let me take the Cadet out of the way and put the pen right there. Now there's one other item in the box, if I remember right, and that's this flashlight right here. You know, I've reviewed several flashlights recently, and one of my flashlight reviews is getting a ton of views. It's the one on the one tack. 1200. This doesn't say it puts out 1200 lumen, and to be honest, I'm not sure how much it puts out. It does have 3 different modes, I've noticed. I used it when I walked last night, and it has a low mode, a high mode, and a strobe. And the manufacturer is right there, Lux Pro. I appreciate all of these items, Roger, and I think what I might do is a little bit more information and make a video on, say for instance, this coffee cup. On the pen, I think is interesting. I think if I can find out more information about this Zippo knife, I'll do that, but I'll do some follow-up videos on these different items. You know, these are some vintage items that have a lot of history, and I think would be interesting to follow up on. Thank you again, and y'all check out That's Pap's Knives. In his note, he said he turns 80 in January. I don't know what day, but send him a message and tell him happy birthday. Y'all take care.